Hello there, Internet. I am Ando, and this is another critique video. Our first artist today is SerenityRiver135, so let's jump right in, shall we? Our first piece is Hazel fan art / gift art. The first thing I'd like to say is that I really love the color and texturing on this character, especially the hair. It really gives the piece just the perfect vibe, and having the most saturated color in the piece being her eyes really brings the audience's attention right there. I also liked the use of purple as the shadow color on the white part of her coat and her skin, as it's a much more vibrant and interesting choice than gray or tan would have been. As for the anatomy, I would suggest making her arms a tad longer and bringing them out a bit. Her shoulders should also be a little wider to be proportionate with the rest of her body. Her torso and head look great, but I would also recommend increasing the width of the bottom of her neck a hair just so it looks a little bit more natural. Other than that, the expression and pose are really well executed. I especially love the intensity of her grin, and I adore the attention to detail on her coat, the added stitches especially. Her next piece is What Are You Doing Here? Fake anime screenshots. First off, the lighting and atmosphere in this piece is really stunning. The blue and green hues really make everything look ethereal and glowy, which makes for a really excellent setting. My only suggestion would be to slightly adjust the brightness of the moon and these leaves back here because of how eye-catching they are. The main focus should be on the character, so maybe adding some highlights to the hair or the tip of the nose would help as well. The only other thing is the position of the mouth is a little too far to the bottom right. Scooching it so that it's a bit more lined up with the nose will really help. Other than that, I really love this piece, and it definitely portrays a story. The expression on the character is so well done, and I especially love the almost retro aesthetic. This really looks like an anime from the 90s, and I'd love to watch it. Good job! Our next artist is Tears-of-Xion, and her first piece is Look at Those Kids Running Along the Beach. I love the energy and overall feel of this piece. It really gives off a fun and silly atmosphere, and I feel like the bright and vibrant colors really add to the image as well. Anatomy-wise, the characters have a few spots that stick out to me. The heads really stand out as being a bit too large for their body proportions. Shrinking them down will make them look a lot more natural. Also, the girl's arm could be shrunk a bit as well, as it makes her legs appear to be too small in comparison. Other than that, I really like the way that the girl's hair and the boy's jacket move backwards. It really adds to the image's momentum. My last suggestion would be to possibly look into working with two-point perspective with your backgrounds. It's not that noticeable with the way that the ocean and the clouds are situated, but the fence and boardwalk really flatten out the image and cut into your dynamic poses. Adding a bit more perspective will really help, even if it's just tilting the angle of the fence and boardwalk outward. The horizon and sky are very beautifully done, but maybe adding a few spots that are a bit sharper, like along the beach, or a few highlights in the water will really pull that part together nicely. I also really like the shading on the characters. The soft edges to your cell shading are really great. And the line of light that you put around the back of their legs is a really great touch too. And the last image we'll be looking at is Let the Night Do the Running. I'm going to start by saying Starco is my OTP, and I really love this piece. The posing in this one is super dynamic, especially with Marco. I just love the way that his legs look. It really gives off an action pose. Star's arm is a bit on the short side, and her hand is slightly smaller than her wand hand. Lowering her elbow a tad and making her hand just a bit larger should help. Her other arm and hand look fantastic, and I also really like the expressions. My last suggestion for this piece would be to maybe change the position of Star's hair to start a bit lower down. The way it wraps around from the back of her head, it would most likely start around here. Other than that, I really like the coloring and shading as well. The shine to Star's hair is really appealing, and the dynamic shifts between midtones and shadows really add a lot to the tension in the piece. Well done! So that was SerenityRiver135 and Tears-of-Xion. As always, thank you so much for sending in work, and everyone please go give their DeviantArt some love. I'll see you all again next time. Bye-bye!